Think and throw. We are throwing waste as we like. We produce a lot of waste. What do we do with the waste? Just we throw it off. But here the thing is, think and throw. What to be thought? What we should think? We should think that before we throw the waste, can we make use of the waste again, which is called as reuse. Reuse. Many of the materials, we can reuse them, right? Say for example, you have purchased something in a bottle. You used that item, now the empty bottle is left. Instead of throwing this empty bottle in the trash bin, you can use the empty bottle for some other purpose. Or you can make a beautiful decorative item with the waste bottle. So that's where you show your creativity, right? So many people, they do not spend any time or their ideas or creativity in doing such things. Simply they throw it away. And moreover, in the sake of their creativity, they create lot of trash. You see some children, they're making fun with papers. They tear papers from the books and they make so many things. They make paper plane, they make origami, different animals and different shapes with the paper. So that is the having fun with paper. It's okay, it's allowed as creativity. But just on the name of creativity, you cannot produce the waste. You cannot produce the dust and trash. Instead, you can use your creativity to make the waste into some art forms. You might have seen people making recycled paper, and from the bits of waste newspaper, it can be made into a pulp and you can make a handmade paper. You can make certain items, little baskets and little containers with the help of paper pulp, right? You might be, you may not know the technique how to make the paper pulp and paper items with the paper pulp. You can ask your grandmother or grandfather. They might be knowing that how to do that. So they will soak the waste paper in water. They will add some methi and they will grind it into a paste, and that paste is used to make certain baskets and all. So likewise, we can make use of waste paper and waste metal cans, waste tires, the old cloth. All these can be made into something which is useful. That means we can put it in reuse, right? So let me give you some ideas over here. Here is a can, a soft drink can. After drinking that, you may throw this can in the trash. Instead, you can cut it and you can use this can as your pen stand. Or you can put some rubber bands in that. So likewise, you can convert the waste items into useful items. Let us see how to recycle a paper. You can make a handmade paper. I already told you that certain items cannot be thrown in the dust. They can be used to make some useful things. So here if you have paper bits from newspaper and magazines and old notebooks. So if you have all this paper, you can cut the paper into pieces. So all these paper pieces, they are kept in a tub. Tub with water. So all these paper pieces are kept here in the water. So the paper pieces are allowed to soak for 1 day. So the paper pieces are soaked very well. Now grind them into paste or pound them into paste. Grind to paste. So you made the paper paste. So what you are going to do with the paper paste? Now you are taking a frame with a mesh. You are taking a wooden frame with a mesh or a sieve. So on that sieve you are applying the paste. You are applying the paste, right? So you are applying and pressing it and keeping this in the sun. So what happens? The paste, it will be sticking and it will be made into a layer. So you have applied the paste like a layer. So before you apply the paste, you can add some food color or any dried leaves, or dried petals into this paste. So the paste can be applied onto the sieve as a layer. So here on the frame you have got a layer of paper which is wet. So after some time the water will dry up. Carefully take out the layer with patterns. So the layer has got beautiful colors and patterns. How it got colors and patterns? Because you have added some food color, dried leaves, dried petals and all. So that layer you kept it on a newspaper, you kept it in the sun. You kept some weights on the corner, so by that it get not blown away by the wind. So after some time all the water is absorbed by the newspaper and it is evaporated and it becomes like a thin cardboard, like a chart with colorful patterns. That is all your recycled paper, recycled chart that you have made on your own. So it's a beautiful thing which you can cut into different shapes and you can make any craft item with the handmade paper. So this is how you can make a handmade paper. So with the handmade paper you can make handmade paper bags to carry the things, to gift something to somebody. You can wrap it around the gift and you can give. So you can do so many things with the paper that you have made on your own. So plastics, a boon or a curse? So far we are discussing about different material. We have seen how to make a paper. Paper can be recycled. And even though the paper is thrown, it is decomposable, it mixes with the soil. But whereas with the plastic, it is a problem. Plastic cannot decompose easily. It takes thousands of years to get mixed up with the soil. So we should be very careful in handling plastic. Plastic, it plays a major role in our life today. Whatsoever the item you purchase, it will be made of plastic, or at least some parts of it are made out of plastic. You buy a car, you buy a bike, you buy a computer, you buy a laptop, mobile phone, kitchenware, furniture, your bed, whatsoever you buy, you will be finding certain parts of it are made out of plastic. Many of the things are completely made of plastic, right? So we cannot avoid plastic. But the thing is that there are certain things to be taken proper care, otherwise plastic, it's causing a very big problem, a nuisance. See, first thing is proper disposal of plastic is very, very important. Plastic cannot be thrown in the garbage, it should be disposed for recycle. Plastics, they are of different types. Depending upon the type, it will be graded and recycled by the people who recycle it. So when you throw the dust, it should be kept separately. At least you should sell it to the recycling centers. Otherwise, certain people will be coming to your houses to buy the old plastic and metal. So you can sell to them not for the profit, for the sake of environment. So they will take it for the recycling. Improper disposal of plastic items is a very big problem. People are not aware of it. Even though we know that, we don't do it, we don't take the responsibility because no one is questioning us. No one is putting a fine on us, just we will throw that. For every item we buy the item and we want a carry bag, polythene cover. So likewise from market you bring 10 to 20 covers a day. See that in 30 days how many covers you are bringing. Hundreds of carry bags you are bringing home and throwing all of them in the garbage. Right? So plastic can be used extensively, but it should be properly disposed. Otherwise it causes so many environmental problems. Second thing is packing food items. It is not very safe to pack the food items in all kinds of plastic. So there is a special kind of plastic which is meant for suitable for packing the food items. But when you buy some food items outside, they may be putting in some cover. You may be buying some food item at a restaurant or a curry point. There they will put the items in a plastic cover. But you don't know whether the plastic is suitable to the food item or not. Sometimes very hot food items are packed in plastic. So this hot food item may react with the plastic in the container. So the plastic, it may be going to the food, you may be eating and you may be suffering with diseases. So food grade plastic is to be used to store the food, and there also proper temperature has to be maintained. You cannot put hot items, you cannot pack hot items in the plastic bags, right? So the suitable food grade plastic and virgin plastic should be used to pack the food, but that is not followed everywhere. Who is checking that? So food packing is a major issue. So when the food is packed in plastic, so these things must be taken care. And third thing is the plastic waste, when it is collected a lot, so they start burning it sometimes. It is very hard to dispose that, very difficult. So in such cases they are putting fire, right, which is not at all advisable. It releases a lot of toxic gases into the atmosphere when plastic is burnt. It pollutes the air a lot of damage happens to the environment. So plastic should not be burnt at any cost. Another problem with the plastic is choking of drains. The plastic rags, plastic covers, plastic bottles, plastic items are thrown in the drainages. So as they are carrying, and at some points they choke the canals and drainages, the water will be overflowing. You see that many of the people throwing their plastic items in the beaches, all this is collected in the sea. Many of the seas are polluted by plastic items. So many of the sea animals are eating the plastic items and they are dying because of the pollution, water pollution by plastic. Even soil. Many of the water bodies are polluted because we are throwing it. It's such an ignorance and such a nonsensical thing that people are doing. How irresponsible the people are behaving. Most of the people, they know that the plastic should not be thrown like that. It's not because of the illiteracy. Because due to the advancement in technology, people are aware of so many things. How to use a smartphone, everybody know that. But we don't know basic thing that the plastic should not be thrown in the dust or garbage. It should be recycled. So every citizen must be responsible. You can enjoy the benefits of plastic, at the same time you should be responsible while disposing it properly. And finally, it causes all kind of pollution. If plastic is burnt, it causes air pollution. If plastic is thrown in water, water pollution. If it is thrown in the garbage and a landfill, soil pollution. It can cause any kind of pollution, right? So the care should be taken while using the plastic. So now let's see the different points that help us in the right way of dealing with garbage. First, you see that you put your efforts in reducing the garbage, right? So what are the right ways of dealing with that? First thing is minimum use of plastic. The usage of plastic should be reduced. Do not buy and carry the things in carry bags. Carry your own cloth bag, so you can keep all the things in that. So you will be contributing for that. Usage of paper or cloth bags. Better use paper bags or cloth bags instead of plastic. No plastic for food. Never ever store the food items in plastic covers, because you do not know the grade of the plastic, what sort of plastic it is. So it may cause so many health problems. So never keep the food items in plastic bags. Better you keep them in metal containers or earthenware, which is safe for the food storage. And next, proper disposal. Plastic should be properly disposed. Always keep the plastic separate from other garbage. Either you sell it to a scrap vendor who buy the scrap. Otherwise, the garbage people, they take the dry plastic kind of waste separately. You give them it separately. No burning of plastic. Plastic should not be burnt. It produces toxic gases which may cause diseases like cancer, and they are very dangerous, right? So never ever burn plastic waste. It should be properly disposed. It should be recycled. Use vermicompost. You encourage the usage of vermicompost instead of fertilizers. So by that, the waste, the garbage, decomposable waste can be properly utilized. Recycling paper. You encourage recycling paper. You buy recycled paper. So by that, the paper is not wasted. So you are saving the paper, in the sense you are saving the trees and you are contributing for a good environment. And judicious use of paper. See, you have a paper in your hand. So if you don't know the use of the paper, say just you think it is a waste paper, just don't throw it. You can use the paper. You can save it. You can write it on the paper. If you write one side of the paper, the other side also can be used. You see many of the children, they will open their book, they write on one side of the paper, just they throw the paper out. The second side can be used. Right? Better you write small letters. So by that more work can be done. If you have a rough work, do not use so many papers. Just you take a slate where you can write and rub it. You can use a slate for rough work. So judicious use, it's very, very important. Somebody may laugh at you. Why are you writing like that? Why are you writing so many answers in one paper? That means you are saving the paper. You are contributing your efforts. You are putting efforts to save the earth from the hazards of environment, issues of environment. So that is the judicious use of paper. Reuse of things. You can put your creativity on. You can make so many useful, wonderful things with the waste that you find around. It's no matter like buying a new thing. For example, you have a broken bucket in your house. It's broken. You can use the broken bucket. You can make it as a flower pot. You can put some mud and you can grow a plant. Somebody may tell you, why are you using that bucket? You can go and get a plastic flower pot. You can buy it, which looks good. Why this bucket is used? Right? So here you take the option of using the bucket. You are reusing it. You are contributing for the welfare of the earth. You are not using another plastic tub. That means you are not taking the share of making one plastic tub. You are using the bucket again. Right. So many of the plastic items can be reused. They have a very good durability. They work for years. You need not throw them. If you have 2-liter water bottles, you can cut and you can grow some plants. You can grow plants in the 2-liter water bottle at least some 5 to 10 years. See that. See all the possibilities. Look for all the possibilities in which we can reuse the items. So we will save a lot. We will contribute a lot. You yourself contribute your part for a sustainable environment.